How about trying something completely different instead of confronting the narcissist or trying to get revenge for what they did to you? Before I tell you what to do, there's something very important. Anything you try to do with a narcissist will drain you. It will exhaust you, and in the end your revenge might fail, and you may not get the justice you imagine. A skilled narcissist knows how to turn everything to their advantage. They can twist facts and manipulate the truth in terrifyingly clever ways so everything ends up working for them. A narcissist has a fake sense of self-worth and a massive lack of empathy. They can't truly understand what you feel, and they don't care to. They simply don't care about your needs or problems because they believe they're the most important person in the world. The only thing a narcissist wants from you is your energy, your ability to feed their ego. That's called narcissistic supply. As long as a narcissist gets that supply from you, they'll stay with you. If you have something to offer them, they'll never let it go or sacrifice it willingly. If you manage to cut off that supply, the narcissist will move on to another victim and treat them exactly the way they treated you. And the worst part? They'll act toward the new person as if they never met you, like you never existed. All you actually need from a narcissist is for them to leave you alone and stay away. The problem is, when you give the narcissist the supply they're demanding, it's not really intentional on your part, it's simply your nature. Comes from who you are. Deep inside, you're someone who naturally wants to stand by others and help them when they need you, especially when it's someone very close to you. You're willing to do anything in the world to save the person you love, whether it's a family member, a partner, a spouse, or even a close friend who truly means something to you. But here's the situation we're talking about. The person you gave your whole life to, the one you loved with all your heart, turned out to be a narcissist. Sadly, you usually don't see that at the beginning of the relationship. It's almost like you've been enchanted. In the early stages, everything they do feels like magic. But as time goes on, and the relationship continues, you start to see everything change, and they reveal themselves as a completely different person. All the charm, the beauty, the love, and the attention you once experienced vanish overnight, and the painful truth comes out. Unfortunately, this usually happens when you're already deeply in love, when you've become so attached that the idea of ending the relationship feels impossible. And this is exactly where the narcissist excels. Their greatest skill is deception, pretending just long enough for you to fall head over heels in love. Once they know for sure that you're under their control and emotionally dependent, they feel secure. They know you won't leave easily because by then, you're genuinely, madly in love. And maybe this is what we can call your only mistake. You loved them for real. That's why, every time they hurt you or treat you in cruel, painful ways, you still go back to them. You still find yourself feeling compassion, hoping they might change, or convincing yourself that maybe they didn't mean to hurt you. Unfortunately, even if you give a narcissist not just one more chance, but 10, they'll always go back to the same behavior again and again. The hard truth is this. The only real solution in a relationship with a narcissist is to cut ties completely, no matter how close or strong the bond might be. There are many types of narcissists, and not all of them act the same way. Each type has its own style and patterns. But at the end of the day, a narcissist is still a narcissist. That's why it's so important to at least identify the type you're dealing with. When you know their behavior style, you can understand why they do certain things and what drives their actions. Another key step is learning how to play the narcissist's game. And if you truly want to beat them, you have to stay one step ahead. One very powerful strategy is to act as if nothing is wrong, as if everything is completely fine. Now, this isn't easy at all. Not everyone can do it, because it requires you to ignore, as much as possible, all the triggering words and provocative actions that a narcissist uses. And let's be honest, narcissists are masters of provocation. They know exactly how to push your buttons. But when you truly understand how they operate, you can begin to pull this off. What you need to do is stay quiet, agree with whatever they say on the surface, play along just enough to keep them convinced everything is normal. Let them believe life is moving forward just the way they want. But the key here, never let them suspect you're just humoring them. This point is absolutely critical. The narcissist must never feel like you're mocking them, or that you're planning to leave. If they sense that, they'll double down on control. Instead, you wait. You plan. And when the right moment comes, when you've decided once and for all that this relationship is no longer survivable, That's when you walk away completely. No hesitación. No second thoughts. You leave for good. Of course, all of this only applies if you're in a position where you can actually live without the narcissist controlling your life, meaning they're not your only source of financial support or survival. If that's the case, then leaving immediately might not be realistic. Another very important thing, make sure you have support. We often call this your support system. The people who truly love you, who will stand by you no matter what. Having them by your side makes all the difference. The next step is setting boundaries and sticking to them without compromise. You have to know your limits clearly and never downplay them. But be very careful here, because narcissists are incredibly skilled at twisting your words, making you doubt your own memory, and even convincing you that certain things never happened. That's why one of the smartest things you can do is to document everything. Write it down in a notebook, journal, or even on loose paper, every important incident, every confrontation. That way, when the narcissist tries to gaslight you later, even years down the road, you'll have your written record to remind yourself of the truth. And if you do leave the narcissist, expect them to chase after you. They will try in every possible way to pull you back. That's why your boundaries remain crucial even after the breakup. Every time they attempt to break through those boundaries, remember this. You're the one who decides whether they succeed or fail. You're the one who either lets them back into your life or shuts the door for good. And here's a critical step. Stop romanticizing the past. Stop thinking about the good moments you had with them, because holding on to those memories only weakens you. And that's exactly what the narcissist is counting on. That kind of thinking can't have a place in your life anymore after everything that's happened. Otherwise, you'll end up with regret at some point. And you need to keep one thing crystal clear in your mind. It wasn't you who benefited, it wasn't you who hurt them. It was the narcissist who drained you, exploited you, and caused you pain. The narcissist did things that were completely irrational. I've spoken to so many people who said they felt like they were on the edge of losing their sanity because of what they went through. The confusion, the disbelief, it all makes you question reality itself. So remember this. Erase the word sorry from your vocabulary when it comes to the narcissist. Even if you apologize just to keep the peace, it will only make things worse. Apologies won't stop them, and they definitely won't make them change how they treat you. The next step is acceptance. Accept that the relationship is over. Let go of any false hope or illusion that they might change. There's no going back once you've left. And yes, it's scary at first. Every survivor of narcissistic abuse has felt that fear in the beginning. And even if there are moments when you miss the so-called good times, especially the early days when everything seemed magical, that's completely normal. You loved this person once, so of course your heart remembers. But that doesn't mean you should return. Close that chapter completely. Lock that door for good. Stop looking back. Your focus now has to be forward on your healing, your future, and your freedom. The next step is learning how to move forward and get past this stage. You need to start focusing more on yourself, forgiving yourself, showing yourself compassion, and working on your own healing before stepping back into life again. And I mean this especially when you've just come out of the relationship and everything still feels raw. Of course, after such a painful experience, your mind and your life won't be the same. Something inside you has changed. That's why you'll need time to rebuild, to prepare yourself, and to slowly start moving forward again. I know this might sound difficult, and for many people it really is. But that's usually because they're still emotionally attached to the narcissist, still tied to them through unhealthy bonds that haven't fully broken. The impact of that attachment lingers. But here's the truth. This is the only way to save yourself, the only way to reclaim your life. Once you commit to healing and letting go, you can finally start living again on your terms in a way that truly makes you happy.